Hey guys, what's going on? FYMyPawn here, and welcome back to Paper Sorcerer. Since we last left off, if I do recall correctly, we managed to get our hands... Well, we managed to do some grinding last stream of Paper Sorcerer, and we managed to go through Cell Block 5. We didn't complete it, but we were on the precipice of completing it. We just need to do one more floor, and then we can hit Cell Block 6, and then we can just go about our merry way. For this stream, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be beating Cell Block 5. Preferably, I'd like to get the boss out of the way, and then we can move on to Cell Block 6 after we do some grinding, because we will be getting a new soul, which means more combat, more enemies, and hopefully we'll get some new items, but we'll have to see. It's a big gamble, but either way, I'm going to try my best to get what I can, and we'll just see how things play out. But I digress. Without further ado, let's get into things and see what happens. Alright, as for the file, I do believe this is the most recent, File 8. So yeah, we're going to start on File 8, I believe. Alright, File 8 dictates that we go here, and we're left with this room here. We've already accessed this. There is just a big empty room here, so I guess we can peruse this area real quick. Mainly because I'm curious. We can keep going forward, but we're gonna hold off for now, because we do have a secret somewhere around here. And yeah, I guess we'll see how things play out. But at the very least, I will say this. The music is bopping. Alright, we got a nice little massive room here to explore. Okay, we got a fight here, so we're gonna save on File 9. And I guess let's engage. Fight. Alright, what we're going to do is we are going to use Challenge to start us off. The Sorcerer is going to hit them with an Ice Storm to start triggering. The Witch... I think we need to start off with Nightshade. I am worried about the Clerics, but the Wizard needs to go because she has a very powerful regen as well. So we gotta basically focus on immobilizing most of the units here first. Then we can worry about dealing with status ailments and whatnot. The hope is to put the Witch to sleep first, and then we can just start focusing people down. Okay, that's a miss. But hey, we're doing our best. Okay, that's a blind tier 3, jeez. Okay, is the cleric is sealed and crippled, so he won't be able to do much. Alright, the skeleton is going to use Shield Bash on the Elven Wizard. The Witch is unable to use Nightshade, but she can definitely use Poison. The Sorcerer is going to follow up with Soul Steal on the Wizard. And we're just going to whittle down the Wizard as much as we can as we manifest our energy. Because we clearly can't do much beyond that. Knockdown prevents her from using abilities. The poison triggers, that's going to get us more damage over time. And yeah, we'll just go from there. Alright. The skeleton is going to use a refresh rune to refresh our armors. The witch is going to try and get Nightshade going, or at the very least the wizard. The sorcerer is going to use Scorch now, and we'll go from there. Gonna use Shadow Inferno. Why not? Fire damage to everybody seems viable. So yeah. Alright, the sleep triggers. Perfect. That is exactly what we want. Alright, fire triggers. Everybody's getting targeted. Nice. But not a lot of damage, I must admit. That's not really good. Let's use a defensive strike on the Cleric B to get some armor back. We are going to use Focus to get some energy. The Sorcerer is going to use Focus to get more energy, and the Shadow is going to follow up with the Shadow Blizzard. Hopefully with more damage in mind. Okay, nice. Damage over time's coming in clutch. Good. Alright, Focus comes in. Nice. Focus comes in from the Sorcerer. Shadow Blizzard hits, gets some damage in. Much more significantly so. But hey, every little bit counts. Okay, we need to challenge. The Sorcerer is going to use... I think we need to use Scorch here, just to deal damage over time. We're going to focus Cleric A, and we're going to put the Cleric B to sleep, I think. The Shadow is going to focus and get some energy back. And we're just going to have to go from there. Alright, the Scorch triggers, nice. That's a trigger, and it locks on. The Sleep, if we can get it. Okay, we don't get the Sleep, unfortunately, but that's fine. We will make do. Okay, instead, we're going to have the Witch use... what? I guess we'll use Poison Strike on the Cleric, because we can't really think of much else. We're going to definitely use Ice Storm, because that is another damage over time. Okay, the Skeleton is not going to be doing anything. Instead, we're going to have him defend. And the Shadow is going to start applying Shadow Frost on Cleric A. So that way we can deal even more damage. Alright, Poison, Ice Storm triggers, getting both of them afflicted. Nice. Shadow Frost hits. Deals a significant... well, not that significant, apparently. Okay. We're going to use the Refresh Rune to recover our defenses some. We are then going to use another dose of Nightshade on B. Alright, the Sorcerer is going to use Soul Steal. And the Shadow is going to use... Fear on B. Or try to, anyways, if the Sleep does not work. Okay, the Sleep is triggered. Nice. Alright, does Fear apply? Yes, he is healed. Perfect. He is going to try his best to heal, but to no avail, most likely. We're going to have the Skeleton go into... oh, the Skeleton can't use defensive mode, so I guess just attack is fine. The Witch is going to use Witch Fire, which is arcane damage. The Sorcerer is going to Scorch the other Cleric because this guy is already burning. And we're going to Manifest to get some more energy. Alright, Witch Fire triggers, and will that get the kill? No. But it will burn him, which is the important part. Yeah, I don't get the Scorch off, unfortunately, but that's just how it goes. Alright, he's gonna try constantly healing himself to fix his issues. Not gonna help him in the slightest, though. Okay, we're gonna attack, then we're gonna try and put him to sleep as well, so he can't heal. The Sorcerer is then gonna focus, and probably do an area of effect, I'm thinking. And we will do a Shadow... let's do a Shadow Blizzard, why not? Might as well. Okay. Nightshade. That should put him to sleep, I think. Yep, there we go. Alright, cool. They're gonna be Frosty. Okay, we are going to defend. The Witch is going to focus to get some more energy. The Sorcerer is going to use Let's do... Let's do Abyssal Frost on B. The Shadow is going to focus. He's going to perish because he can't heal. And that just leaves him, which is naturally just going to make our lives a lot easier. But the Abyssal Frost goes to him, mainly because it's going to deal so much to him. There we go. Alright, we get the focus in. That's going to increase our intended damage much higher. Just in case we're going to hit the challenge, the Witch is going to introduce, I guess, Poison Strike to inflict poison. The Sorcerer is going to Soul Steal, and we'll go from there. The Shadow is probably going to hit with Shadow Blaze. We'll go from there. Hopefully that does do the job, though. Alright, Poison Strike is probably going to proc Poison, which it does. Nice. Gonna get some energy from the Soul Steal. Shadow Blaze is gonna hit. And yeah, I mean, we just gotta take him out. Which, there you go. We get Turquoise, 400 gems, and 2,000, roughly 400 experience. And we get Tier 3 Soul Steal for it. We get Tier 1 Counter Stance, and Tier 6 Defensive Strike. Let's see. Increases chance of countering attacks for 3 turns. That is going to be really powerful. Witchfire. Tier 3 Witchfire. That's going to deal even more damage over time. Tier 5 Curse of Blindness. That's really powerful. Tier 6 Shadow Blast. And yeah, there we go. Can't complain. Alright, what do we got here? A brass toe ring, leather arm of the owl, a silver helmet. That's actually very interesting. And a black silver bag. Okay, hold on. That is slightly better than what we got, I think. Hold on. 5 magic, 5 agility, 5 strength. That's actually a good one for the Shadow, is it not? Yeah, no, because the accessory for Adept Orb doesn't even give a defense. This gives us it gives us less magic, but it increases our defense by 16, which the Outsider kind of needs. He kind of lacks that extra boost to defense. So this is actually... I might get him 2 silver helmets, to be honest. Just because it's so good for him. Okay, we're gonna save here. And let's see, this is probably gonna be a secret. You find a loose brick sticking out the wall. Push it. Hello. Alright, let's save here. Let's see what cluster of items we get. Hopefully we get some good ones. Inside the box, there is a note that reads, "Only 5 columns." We find an aquamarine and a mending potion. That is horrible loot. So I'm going to reload to see if we can get something better. 83 gems and reinforced elven plate armor. Okay, no, we can get better. Come on, game. Give us some enchanted gear. Leather armor of the bear. Okay, that's alright. Scroll of the cat. I'll deal with it. Okay, only 5 columns. Okay, interesting. Okay, so only 5 columns. What does it mean by columns, then? Does it mean the columns in this room? There's only 5 columns, then. There is something slightly different about this column. While examining it, you notice that a section of it sounds hollow. Don't have anything that can work here. Let's leave it alone for now. But this column is probably going to be leading into a treasure of some kind. I would assume, going by the treasure there anyways. Worst case, we can open it. Oh, hello. Wasn't expecting that, but okay. We will challenge. We shall get the witches, or the witch, to Nightshade here. We'll start with C and go from there. We are immediately going to use Ice Storm on everybody, obviously. And we are then going to... I think we use Fear to try and immobilize one of them as well. Mainly because the less people that can act in a turn, the better, I feel. Okay, sleep triggers. Ice Storm is probably going to trigger. And it does, giving everybody the frost. Oh, blindness power. Okay. Unfortunately, it doesn't proc as expected, but hey, that's fine. Okay, he can no longer act for at least a little bit. We are going to use this chance to activate Witchfire. The skeleton is going to use this chance to... I think we counterstance actually here, don't we? Yeah, the counterstance would immediately provoke an attack from the skeleton, so him going counterstance actually works in our favor here. Yeah, so we're gonna target the assassin here. We're going to manifest, and we'll go from there. Then we can probably put this guy to sleep and then go from there, probably. But either way, they're going to attack the skeleton immediately, so it works out in our favor. Counterattack triggers, there we go. And that is the power of counterattack. Gonna attack the skeleton, I think. Yep, but that's gonna oh, no, it doesn't. Only one attack per turn, it seems. Okay, let's see. We can use Mending or Nightshade. I'm gonna use... Do we use Nightshade? No, let's use... Yeah, no, let's use Nightshade. The less assassins are awake, the better for our situation. The skeleton is going to defend here. The sorcerer is going to scorch the assassin A. The shadow is going to... Let's go with Shadow Blaze. No, not Shadow Blaze. Shadow Inferno, specifically. Target all enemies, why not, right? Let's see, is he going to sleep? He is. Perfect. Scorch is going to hit this guy. It applies. Perfect. So that's another damage over time. Everybody takes some damage. Pretty cool. Alright. And from there, we shall use Refresh Rune to recover our defenses. The witch is probably going to use Poison Strike here, yep. Poison Strike to apply a poison proc in addition to everything that we've been doing. And we're going to focus, followed by a focus as well. Why not? After all, the more damage we deal, the better, right? Okay, poison is applied. He's going to take 4 sets of damage over time, so that's going to be pretty nice. Alright. Okay, blind 3, that's fine. We are going to challenge. This is going to proc that. I think we can get away with Nightshade at this point. Sorcerer is going to Firestorm here. Target all enemies. Then we go with Shadow Frost? No, we go Shadow Blizzard. That'll target all enemies. So now we only got 2 left, but that's fine. Damage over time is necessary here. Okay, Nightshade is triggering already, so there we go. Dude probably woke up midway through, so that's good. Nice. Nice, 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 nice. Okay, we'll hit the defense. From there, we are going to focus. We're probably going to get some regen going, more than anything, but we'll see. Do we need anything? No, we're just going to defend. And Shadow, we're just going to Shadow... let's just Shadow Storm, why not? It'll target 2 enemies anyways. Alright. Alright, let's get the damage over times going. Okay, the skeleton. Gonna hit the refresh room. The witch is going to... Ward of Spring. The sorcerer is going to follow up with an ice storm to target both enemies. Shadow will manifest to get some energy back, and we repeat the cycle. Alright, nice. Regen hits, and we keep going. Alright, that's 1. Is that 2? That is not 2, but close enough. Now we can do single targets. Alright, we are going to... Can't Poison Strike, but we can Witchfire here. Sorcerer, we want to Soul Steal because we need the energy, but unfortunately for him, he just dies. But we get a bunch of stuff though. Can't complain there. Gonna save. Alright. Plate Boots, 13 gems. 6 gems, Alexandrite, and a ruby. Cool. And over here, we get a moonstone and Axe of the Old Underworlds. Okay. A 20 to 170 damage weapon with 5 strength and 20 HP. Great for Minotaur, I predict. Great for one. Alright, well, we're gonna go over. And we got this pillar here, so we're gonna save. And open it up. We don't have any items, but we can open it. After pinpointing the hollow section of the pillar, you feel around until you find a small latch. Releasing the latch causes a panel on the pillar to slide down, revealing a small switch. Do you press the switch? Yes. Off in the distance, you hear the sound of stone grinding against stone. Now is it over here, or... I'm assuming it's in the main room. So I guess we'll go over here, see what we can find. And to our... surprise, there is a secret. Hello, hello. We have found the Amber secret. We find some leather gloves in the corner, and in here we find some fancy little gimmicks here. Hello, spirits. Oh, hello, Motley. A glowing ball of light hovers before you. You have passed the first test in finding me, young one. Steel yourself, for there is a long journey ahead. Before he can say anything more, the spirit is sucked into the black stone. Apparently, the quest giver has been taken. Alright, let's do a quick save on file 2, and let us loot this place. Okay, an antique sword, that's money. That's money. Gems. Scroll of the Master, And an obsidian greatsword, not that great. We're gonna reload and get some better loot. Because the random generation is pretty good. Okay, a cane, that's money. Okay, money, money, and a moon silver staff, though. I think we keep this, because it's gonna give us 12 magic. Do we want it, though? Because dark steel is slightly better. I'm glad you're enjoying the narration, Motley. I'm glad you are. Moon silver is slightly more defensive, but otherwise it feels like the same to a dark steel staff. I'm gonna keep it. Yeah, I think I'm satisfied with that, because I can give the other one to the witch, I believe. Because the witch has one that gives some HP, but otherwise isn't that great. We'll give the we'll go with the moon silver staff. There we go. Okay, with that, we'll save on file 3 and move our merry way onto the boss. Because I do believe this is floor 3, which means floor 4 is going to yield us quite a bit. Alright. Boss time. Gonna be really difficult, given it's still on 1980s mode, so I might have to go back here to grind a bit, but we'll try first time out like we usually do, and we'll just have to wing it and see. Hold, Sorcerer. Come no further. A wary man stands with his bow at the ready in front of you. He speaks with a thick, unfamiliar accent. At first, I was not sure sealing you in here was the right thing to do. Now I see you've killed many good men, and are trying to undo the book itself. This I cannot allow. Alright, well, we save. How's our stats looking? We could do with some more energy, but it's fine. I came in here with the expectancy that we're gonna lose, so we'll have to see. Okay, we're gonna start by... Honestly, the best way to start is just damage over time. Then we get the skeleton to challenge to be the target. The sorcerer is going to... We're gonna get focus going. And the shadow is gonna start initiating shadow shields for the witch. And we're just gonna start giving everybody shields, because everybody... Oh, never mind. Witch is immediately dead. Ah, well. Okay, focus. Nice. Alright, shadow shield. Doesn't trigger because the witch is dead. Okay, we are going to use shield stance here. The sorcerer is going to use... I think we need to use soul's shield here. The shadow is going to be forced to use shadow shield on himself, as we give everybody buffs. Oh, block up. That's fine, we are just buffing ourselves anyways. Okay, the barrier hits. Shadow shield comes in. We're gonna have to get the revive on the witch. Alright, the skeleton is going to use the restoration crystal. The sorcerer is going to use... I think we need to use Scorch here. Shadow comes in. We need to use Fear here. And just basically immobilize him to some capacity. Thankfully the shield blocks, so that's good. Alright, witch is back up now. Okay, now we can get the damage over times going. Alright, the Scorch, the Fear, Can we trigger it? Yes, we managed to get the seal off at least, so that's good. We are going to initiate the Ward of Spring to give everybody a heal over time. Alright, we are going to be using... I think we need to use a Shield Bash to prevent him from using any skills. The Sorcerer is going to have to Soul Steal to get some healing back. And the Shadow is going to have to... I think Darkness, but no, we need to focus for now. At least right now we need to. Shield Bash would prevent him from casting any abilities. Doesn't seem like it helps much, but that's fine. Okay. Let's initiate the challenge. The Witch now must... I think we need to curse a blindness the guy, so that way his accuracy fumbles immensely. The Sorcerer then can focus on using focus to increase his energy even further. The Shadow now needs to use Shadow Shield for the Witch, and then we go from there. Hopefully we manage, but we'll have to see. The blindness is definitely going to help, though, and reduce its accuracy very high. Okay, that shield is really putting in work. We didn't have that, it'd be a lot worse. Okay, Shadow Shield hits, nice. Okay, Skeleton. Gonna Shield Stance here. The Witch. We need to hit this guy with... I think we go Black Lotus here, just to get the poison off. The Skeleton can now use any form of ability he wants. We're going to use Abyssal Frost here, because that will apply a damage over time, which is going to be the main gimmick here for winning. So we're going to then focus, and that should help us significantly. Alright, Piercing Shot. He's going to try and hit... Okay, he hit the Skeleton, as expected. Skeleton's going to have a rough time of it, but that's just how it goes. At the very least, the Witch will be able to heal him next turn, so there we go. Alright. The Witch, we need you to immediately heal the Skeleton. Skeleton, we need you to... I think we go with the Refresh Rune. Yeah, let's use the Refresh Rune on all allies. The Sorcerer is going to use... We're going to go for Psychic Assault here, because that is going to deal damage based on the enemy's HP. And going by him, he's going to have a lot of HP to deal with. So we want to wail down on him. The Shadow Backlash is also a good idea. Yeah, let's go Shadow Backlash, because the boss is going to have definitely some serious stats to work with. Which means our damage with the buffs that we got currently are going to scale higher. Yeah, 162 damage, not bad. Okay, that is 300 damage, that's pretty nasty. Thankfully everybody's defended from most attacks. If not, things would be a lot worse for us. Okay, we are going to... Okay, the Witch only has 1 energy left, so we're going to focus. The Skeleton's getting some serious regen off, so it's not that bad. We are going to Shield Bash to prevent him from doing anything special. Alright, the Sorcerer will hit the focus. And I think with the Shadow we can hit him with some serious damage, but I think to play it safe, we're going to use Fear, just to slow him down. Okay, the Camouflage is hitting up. It was right to go defensive here. Get our energy back. Alright, He can no longer use skills for the next turn, I think. But we'll see. Here we get our focus back. I think we're gonna have to boost up our skeleton's energy. Actually, I got a better idea. The skeleton is going to be using a defense potion, which will restore half the skeleton's armor. The witch is going to hit off with a witch fire. The sorcerer is going to hit with, I think, scorch here to trigger the burn. And the shadow is going to hit with, I think we'll start with a shadow blast to get that arcane damage off. Okay, the evade hits, nice. Okay, that restores 110 of his defense, which is really good. Witchfire triggers, tier 3 version no less. Scorch hits, and does not proc, unfortunately. But that's fine. Hey, we won! I wasn't expecting to win, but hey, we got it. Alright, we get level 7 Black Bolt and level 2 Ice Storm for it. We get level 7 Power Strike and level 2 Hamstring. We get level 7 Quick Heal, level 4 Curse of the Fool. We get level 7 Shadow Blaze, level 6 Shadow Storm. And Puppet and Ghost reaches level 31, as does the Minotaur. But because we don't use them in the party that often, it doesn't matter. We are gonna save. And yeah, let's move on. Well, I wasn't expecting to do that, but hey. You fight with such power. Go ahead, break the binding. You'll never be able to get them all. And the Archon can fix those. You do. With that, he collapses. And that's a win. We get ourselves some power gauntlets for our troubles, which gives us a boost to strength, which we don't use often for the skeleton, so no point in it. But hey, I'd say that's a win in our books. We killed one of the heroes, I think. Well, maybe. It's hard to say. As you approach the bindings, you feel yourself begin to recite the chant of unmaking. It's a very uncomfortable feeling, your body moving of its own accord. Once the chant is finished, you feel the ground begin to shake, with an ear-splitting sound of metal wrenching itself apart. The bindings snap. Just as tremors are becoming more violent, you feel your body getting lighter, and everything begins to fade away. You have cleared cell block 5 and broken the 4th of the bindings. The 4th binding has been broken. You're better than I thought. And one of the legendary heroes down as a bonus. Only 20 have made it that far without dying. Of course, all of them died horribly soon after. Before he died, he mentioned the Archon. What did he mean? She looks slightly upset. The Archon is what keeps the labyrinth functioning. If the bindings are the book's spine, then the Archon is its brain. If it's given enough time, the Archon can repair the broken bindings. This usually takes several years, but it has happened before. Which is why it's incredibly important we keep our momentum and continue. 1 second. Alright, I've got to be right back for like 5-ish minutes. I gotta do some IRL stuff, but when I return, we will go back to the narration. I apologize for the delay, but yeah, that's just how it goes. See you guys in 5 minutes. Okay, I am now back. Now, where was I? Ah, yes. Which is why it's incredibly important we keep our momentum and continue breaking the bindings. You see the shop zombie ambling around the town square, surrounded by marauding pigs. Oddly, they each have a word's worth of dripping paint on their sides. Wallet, items, buy, shop, and new among them. Okay, so more goodies from the shop. And yeah. Okay, let's start with talking. Why not? The oddly relaxed guy. There's a rumor of powerful spirits on Block 6. I hear it has an affinity for things of beauty. Okay, how about the goblin? The overseer of Block 6 is a powerful necromancer. His minions will relentlessly attack you. No matter how many you kill, they just keep coming. How'd a guy like that become an overseer? Okay, so apparently spirits and the undead are basically the focal point for the next floor. Interesting. Kinda reminiscent of what we're doing. Ish. But not completely. Alright, well, let's go to the merchant and let's see. Let's see what he has on stock, but first, let's sell everything we don't need. We don't need the Axe of the Underworld because we're not going to be using it, so ditch that. Sell most of everything here. Let's keep the Adept Orb. I have a feeling I'm going to need it. Power Gauntlets we can sell, though. Okay, usables. We keep those. We are going to need one to recover our abilities, but whatever. Okay, at least it's easy to sell all these. Hey, a ruby worth 5,000. That's not bad. Alright. Sell these, there we go. We keep the wooden idol for now. And scrolls we're going to keep for now. I'm confident we can work with that. And now let's see what we can buy. We're obviously going to need ourselves a restoration crystal, because we used one during the fight. And usually it's a wise idea to keep 4 or 5 on you, so there you go. We did use one of our defensive potions, but yeah, we can buy one more just in case. You never know. Alright, shields. If I recall correctly, our physical... Yeah, no, most of it seems pretty normal. I think we got a decent shield, actually, so we're not going to buy one. We can buy things like steel helmets or gauntlets or whatever have you. Nothing really too fantastic to show for it, though. Armor. We've got obsidian tier plate armor now, which is interesting. And for weapons, we got dark steel in availability, which is actually really good for us. Because dark steel is the best tier that we can access right now. Okay, so we already got a dark steel longsword. We do need a dark steel staff, though. Although, I'm going to keep the one I got currently, and we're going to see if we can't milk the other place for better loot. Maybe we'll get lucky. But either way, we're going to back out. And we are going to upgrade using Skill Trainer. Alright, we're going to start with the skeleton and just max him out. Because naturally, the higher the skeleton goes, the better. We've already mastered parry. Defense training is the next thing we want to focus on, I think. Because we've noticed that he really drains through his defenses. So we're going to try and get his defensive training under wraps. It's probably an expensive method, but that's fine. Yeah, we got already to 40 defense. That's insane. Agility. We might be able to push the envelope a little, but we can't really go that far, so we're just gonna boost his HP up now a bit. And that will have to do. We could probably get some defense in ice or fire. We will focus into fire resist for now. And we will make do with that. Alright, let's go to the strange old house and grind up. I found one of your lost souls.
He pulls the soul out of the gem and hurls it into the fire. Thank you for bringing back a soul. I will now unlock a new level of the catacombs. Good luck.
Alright, Catacombs level 5, here we go. We are going to save here, because it's going to get dicey, I imagine. File 8. Okay, we start by going straight. Alright, we get 9 gems from this one. Absolutely nothing there. Okay, so there's a chest into an empty room. There is... Oh, hello. There's a trader here. Okay, we've got a unknown individual that we haven't met. A dead wizard. Okay. So we want to put the wizard to sleep for now. We are going to use challenge. And the sorcerer is going to focus. We'll have the shadow also manifest. There we go. Hopefully put the... Yep, alright. Caster's asleep. We can now focus on everybody else. Shouldn't be too hard. Alright. Okay, divine power triggers, but that is no big deal to us. Okay, we're just gonna hit the defend on skeleton for a bunch of times until we lose our defending ability. We are going to use... what? We're probably gonna use Black Locust here on the wizard, because the wizard is currently the biggest problem here out of everybody. We're gonna freeze everybody, give them status ailments. We are then going to follow up with... let's go with Shadow Inferno. Might as well, right? There we go. Poison triggers, nice. Ice Storm triggers here, I think. Alright, everybody's procced with it. Perfect. Alright, fire damage triggers, nice. And we go from there. Okay, the skeleton, we want to keep on defending. The witch can now use focus. Kinda wish I had Nightshade, or the potential to use it, but that's fine. We just need to focus down the wizard because he is going to be the biggest problem, I feel. Now we focus, get some energy back. And yeah, we're just gonna be on the grind for a while, until we get to whatever it is we're trying to do. Shouldn't be too hard all the same.
This is a way for us to accumulate power after all.
Okay, we're going to use Nightshade. We're going to focus on the cleric. The skeleton no longer has challenge active, but that's fine. We will hit the defend. The sorcerer is going to use focus here. And we will have the shadow use... let's use Shadow Storm because it's arcane damage based after all. Alright, Nightshade triggers on the cleric. That's going to help us significantly. Alright, Shadow Storm hits, targets everybody. The wizard should be perishing soon, I suspect. We'll hit the challenge. The witch shall... Let's focus with the witch. The sorcerer is going to use... I guess Firestorm, target all enemies. Nope, because the wizard goes down. That's perfect. We shall now use Shadow Blaze, which is tier 7. Now we focus the cleric, who is currently at the highest concern next to the wizard that we had to deal with. Skeleton's looking a bit rough for wear, so we should probably want to deal with his defenses at some point. But thankfully, the warrior's the only thing left now. So now we just need to boost up the skeleton's defenses and we should be fine. Okay, the witch is going to use... I think a heal, honestly. Well, no, not a heal. We need to increase his armor, so... Restore defense, yeah. Restore defense is going to be the best way to go about it. We're going to use a refresh rune. The sorcerer is going to soul steal. And the shadow shall follow up with manifest. Just to get some more energy. Okay, the defense recovery, nice. Refresh rune recovers a little bit more. Soul steal triggers. And that's done and over with. Nice. In this room, you find an unsettling hunched-over figure.
I find a lot of spare parts around here. Maybe you'd be needing some spare parts too. Why don't you have a look at what I found?
For this guy, you can basically sell stuff, you can buy stuff. Really depends on you, but he basically sells parts for your skeleton. Well, not skeleton, but he basically sells body parts for your puppets. So if you're looking for gear for puppets, you need to come in here, no matter what, so... If you want to build a puppet in any specific way, you can basically buy the parts here. He will suit you up with the best gear possible for the puppet. So if you're looking for anything interesting, or you just want to get creative with it, that's the best way to do so. Okay, but for now, we dip. Okay, we save here. Not that big a room, I must admit.
You find a shape-shifting soul. Its form begins to rapidly shift as you get closer. Brother? Brother. Brother! I found you. I was looking for Gung, but I got lost.
Good, it seems that we've managed to find the first one.
Brother, who is this human? I recruited this mage to help me find you two, and some bodies to inhabit. So then Gung is... Don't worry, we'll find him together.
Okay, so yeah, that's basically the floor, I guess. Well, that was boring. That is a very dull room. Not the place I wanted to go, but that's fine. We are going to go to the Strangehold's house all the same. And I'd like for you to take me to the catacombs of level 5 again. And we're just going to save. And we'll see if we get lucky on the items. Because they might just appear in certain rooms. Yeah. So I suspect that they're going to pop up in these rooms here. So what we need to do is we need to basically go into this file, we're going to save, and if we load correctly, well, if we just reload and recycle, we should be good. Okay, this is a maybe, that's no, it's no. Okay, now, is there anything else around here? Okay, I won't know unless I defeat this enemy, so... I'm just gonna have to investigate, see what spawns the floor 5 have. and we'll go from there. Okay, we're gonna immediately Nightshade the Defender because I'm confident I can handle the wizards more than anything. So we're gonna Ice Storm all enemies, and then we Shadow it up. Gonna hit the Manifest, so that way we can deal AoE damage. Okay, challenge hits, Nightshade, procs, cool, Ice Storm, and next. Alright, everybody suffers, Manifest hits, there we go. Alright, they're gonna try and damage us to some avail. Okay, we're just gonna start attacking the wizards. The Sorcerer is going to Soul Steal to get some energy back. Witch is going to... Let's go Ward of Spring so we get some regen. That's the more important thing, I think, here. We are then going to do a Shadow Blizzard? No, a Shadow Inferno here. There we go. And we'll just deal AoE damage until they are dead. Okay, that's one. Wizard over on the right is probably going to be as equally easy to deal with. Alright, Shadow Inferno triggers. Get some 52 damage, not bad. Flare hits is going to hit the Witch. Not that fun, but whatever. Okay. I guess the next best thing is to attack. Okay, the Witch is going to focus. Sorcerer, we are going to use Scorch. And the Shadow, rather, is going to use Focus here. There we go. That should get the kill, I'm hoping. Yep, Scorch triggers. And that should kill. It does. Perfect, that just leaves this guy. Who is going to be suffering from a lot of status ailments, I suspect. Okay, Skeleton is Defend. Okay, the Witch is going to use Witchfire to start with. Sorcerer, preferably I'd like to use Soul Steal, but I don't think we got that luxury, so we're just going to use Frostfall here. The Shadow is then going to use Shadow Blaze, tier 7. And that should deal a lot of damage, I'm hoping, but we'll see. Alright, Witchfire triggers, Frostfall triggers, deals a nice juicy... Yeah, deals nice and juicy damage. Mainly the agility loss is the important thing. Okay, we just defend. Alright, the Witch comes in with... Let's go Curse of the Fool. That's going to reduce his magic resistance. We're then going to focus. The Shadow is then going to hit with a Shadow Blast, which is an arcane damage ability. And get us some serious damage coming on. At least I predict. Okay. I think he's still asleep, as far as I'm aware. No, he is not. Never mind. I thought he was asleep. Oh god. Okay, we are going to, just in case, challenge. The Witch is going to hit with Nightshade, or try to. Sorcerer takes some serious damage, but it could be a lot worse. We're just going to go for the Scorch here. And the Shadow is going to manifest. Okay, the Frost has ended. That's fine. We should be able to make this happen, all the same. Okay, he is now asleep, so that is a perfectly fine situation now. We should be safe. Because status ailments are pretty overpowered, if you know what you're doing. Okay, the Witch, we want you to... what? I guess focus. Okay, Skeleton... Defend... Sorcerer... I guess Soul Steal. Because that will do some healing as well. And I guess we Shadow Frost. Yeah, let's Shadow Frost here, because we got some high octane arcane damage. And yeah. Should be an easy win, I think. But we'll see. Oh, okay, so he is very immune to arcane. Or whatever that ability was. Okay. Let's use Black Locust here, get some poison off. The Sorcerer is going to use Abyssal Frost here. Alright, the Shadow comes in, and we'll use Focus. Get some more energy in. Alright, Poison triggers, Abyssal Frost is probably going to trigger. There we go. Nice, Frostbite. Focus hits, gets us energy 5, nice. And now... should probably do Curse the Fool just in case. Or was that Curse of Blindness? I can't remember. Ah well. Okay, the Sorcerer... we are just going to focus, and the Shadow, we are going to hit with Shadow Blaze, I think. Never mind. The energy is enough. Or the damage over time is enough, I should say. We do get some coins, a few intermediate gear, and some experience. Can't be bad. Gonna save. We're gonna save on, I guess, file 1 for now. Until I figure out if there's any other treasure hiding away. Okay, so there is treasure around, it's just harder to find. Okay. Alright, Nightshade to start us off. We'll use Challenge to get the cross off on everybody. Ice Storm will hit everybody. And the Shadow is going to go for the Shadow Inferno, I suppose. There we go. That'll be our starter. Okay, we don't put him to sleep. That's going to be concerning. That's 2 rounds. He will be able to ruin us in some capacity. Which is not going to be fun, yeah. Yeah, that's not fun. Okay. Let's just hope we, manage. Alright. Okay, Witchfire will be enough for us to cast Nightshade next turn. We are going to attack, and we're going to talk... I guess we go for Fighter A here. The Sorcerer is going to use Soul Steal. And the Shadow will follow up with Shadow Storm. Yeah, there we go. Alright, Witchfire triggers, nice. Skeleton goes in for the attack on the Warrior. Soul Steal on the Wizard, because the Wizard's the most concerning. And Shadow Storm just for added effect. There we go. Oh, he's casting Blizzard. Not fun. Okay, now he's made the Shadow significantly weaker. Okay. Okay, we attack Fighter A. The Sorcerer is going to use Scorch. The Witch is going to do a quick heal on the Shadow. And the Shadow is going to Manifest. Goodness knows he needs it. Yeah, the Warriors are not that concerning. It's just this Wizard. And he goes down. Perfect. Good. Slightly worried there, but thankfully we got recovery handled, so that's good. Alright, we attack. The Witch is going to use a quick heal on Shadow. Alright, the or rather the sorcerer is going to focus, and we'll just have the darkness focus himself as well. Might as well. But he goes down before that, so we do what we can. Okay, we got some nice little goodies here. At the very least, experience is going to be a good thing. Okay, we are going to save here. Alright. Okay, so there's a treasure chest here as well. Okay, so there is treasure chests in the majority of these rooms. I suspect that there's a one per room, I think, at this point. But it's hard to say with complete assurity. Okay, get the challenge off. The sorcerer is going to soul steal. The shadow follows up with honestly, I think we just focus on down the wizard. The wizard is the most important target right now. So, alright. Wizard goes down. Yeah, we're just gonna focus on the wizard. I'm not too concerned about the cleric, but I will be putting them to sleep next, I think. So they come after us. Or they come next, basically. Oh geez, 243. I forget how powerful those abilities can be. Okay, we are gonna focus here. Skeleton is going to use defend. Alright, sorcerer is going to use ice storm. Target everybody, get the frost damage going. Gonna manifest to get some energy back. And off we go. Alright, nice. Nice. That's a miss. That is a miss. So the skeleton's really doing well. Okay, the sorcerer is going to focus. The witch is going to probably put the cleric to sleep. And the shadow is definitely going to use Shadow Blaze on the wizard. Because the arcane damage is going to only increase. Well, the damage that we deal is only going to increase. Alright. Cleric's asleep. Cool. Shadow Blaze hits. Deals 216, deals with the wizard. Perfect. That's exactly what we wanted. Now we can focus on everything else. Okay, we're just gonna... We can't use anything there, so... Instead, we're just gonna attack the warrior. The witch is going to use... Now, let's use Ward of Spring, just so we got some healing going. The sorcerer is going to hit with Scorch here on the cleric. The shadow will follow up with Shadow Blast on the cleric for high octane damage. And the healing over time is going to be beneficial, but yeah, that's another thing. Alright, the Scorch hits, the Shadow Blast connects. There we go. Get ourselves 96 damage out there. Nice. Okay, the witch is going to use... Mending would get us to 8, which would allow us to get 9 energy back. Alright, we are then going to just attack. Well, actually, no. Do we... We want to use challenge here, yep. The sorcerer is going to, once again, soul steal, but from the cleric. And the shadow shall focus to get some energy back. But, because he's dead, we can now focus on the warrior, who is the bigger target right now, so... Priorities. Alright. That's gonna help our energy. Skeleton is taking hits. We're gonna defend. The witch is going to put this guy to sleep now. Make him an easier target. We are then going to use Abyssal Frost here. And the Shadow is just going to Shadow Frost for high octane damage. Like we do. Alright, he's asleep, so now he can't do a dang thing. As we just slowly but surely out-heal him and out-scale him in every possible way. Alright. Not a lot of damage from cold, it seems, but that's fine. Okay, the skeleton is currently on high cap energy. The witch is perfectly fine for energy. So we're just going to use this chance to quick heal the shadow. The sorcerer is going to hit with... let's go Black Bolt. We haven't used that often. It's a cheap ability to boot, so... yeah, there we go. Just damage over damage and damage and damage. Every little bit counts. Okay, Black Bolt hits, Manifest hits. Let's hope the damage over time is going to take him out, but we'll have to see. Okay, we now use Black Locust to trigger poison. The Sorcerer is going to try to Scorch, but to no avail, so we focus to get energy back. And the Shadow uses Shadow Blast, which is an arcane variant of the ability. Okay, Black Locust triggers for poison. Alright, Focus triggers, nice. Shadow Blast, let's hope that's enough to take him out. Which it is, and he goes down. Solid. Okay, Ghost reached level 32, nice. Alright. So I think this room is going to be our saving grace, essentially. So we're going to be using this room to gather our materials in bulk. So we're just going to heavily rely on RNG here, basically. Now, the question is, do we get chests in here? I have no idea. So we're just going to cycle through these 3 rooms and just see if we get lucky, really. Because that'll be our dictating goal here. Either way, we're going to get 2 items out of each room, at minimum. So file 5, there we go. Load. There we go. So rinse and repeat. Yep, there is 3 chests in this room. Perfect. A soul steel mace. That's not bad. 10 magic, 8 strength, 20 HP. The magic alone is pretty good. But could be worse. Or could be better. We're gonna save on file 8. And we're gonna load it up. And we're just gonna be grinding. So this is the boring part of the stream, but necessary for us to steamroll the next events of the game. Okay. Well, we did get a chest, so still a good choice. Okay, we now load. And we rinse and repeat as we go through these 3 rooms. Okay, nothing, so we load file 9. Okay, nope. We reload again. Basically, we just have to go through these 3 rooms. We've done it before in a stream, so it's not too hard to register. Okay, nothing. That's fine. We just save on file 10, which we're going to be using for this dump pile of saves coming. And we just keep going from there. Okay. 51 gems is still a steal compared to what we do. So, yeah. We either keep going until we hit a fight, or we just don't get lucky. Okay. Well, we keep going until either we discover that we don't get anything out of an ordeal, or we run into a fight, in which case we do save, because that is technically considered a loot pile for me. It's just in levels, and some items that they drop themselves. Okay, nothing so far. Seems luck is not on our side today, but that's fine. Alright, 4 gems. Still lucrative. I wouldn't say it's the most lucrative because it's 8 gems of all things, but kinda needed to do to get some nice juicy items. Okay, that's still an item. 93 gems, not bad. That's still a haul. Alright, off we go. 56 gems. It's still something. Okay, we save file 10, load. And yep, this is gonna be the boring part of the stream. Just grinding. Okay, leather armor of the cat, still loot. Okay, save. Alright, off we go. A singular gem and a fight, okay. Man, that's something. Okay, we're gonna challenge. We can then hit the Nightshade on the Wizard. We then hit the Ice Storm, and follow up with the Shadow, who's going to use Manifest. Alright, there we go. And we grind. Okay, Nightshade does not trigger, unfortunately. That's just how it goes. But hey, we'll keep going. Ooh, pain. We're probably gonna have to get the Shadow to here, worst case, but we'll see. Divine Power is not fun. Okay, we're gonna hit the... No, well, yeah, no, I guess we do. We're gonna hit the counter stance, so that way we counter attacks that we receive. We're gonna hit the Ward of Spring, that's gonna get us some healing. The Sorcerer is going to use this as an excuse to Soul Steal and get some energy back from the Wizard that dealt damage to him. And from there, we shall use... Well, obviously we need to focus down the Wizard, so Shadow Blaze on the Wizard to start with. Alright, the counter stance is up. Ward of Spring hits, that's going to get us Regeneration 2. Alright, we deal damage to the Wizard. He triggers Blizzard, which is going to hit the Witch. Not fun. But that's fine. Just gotta deal enough damage to KO him, basically. Skeleton is already healing significantly, so that's fine. We're just going to use our Refresh Vernier. The Sorcerer is going to Scorch here on the Wizard. The Witch is going to try and, again, put him asleep. And the Shadow shall follow up with a Shadow Blast for extra damage. Alright, Scorch gets the Scorch trigger. Nightshade, will it put him to sleep? It will not, because she misses. Lovely. Okay, apparently this guy really doesn't want to go down. Too bad we're gonna force it. Alright, the Skeleton is gonna hit the defend. From there, the Sorcerer is going to use Abyssal Frost. The Witch, unfortunately, cannot do anything about it, so instead she's going to focus. And the Shadow is going to manifest. Once again. Hopefully this will take out the Wizard. Yep, just barely enough damage to deal with him. Now we can focus on the Cleric and the Warrior, without too much hassle. Alright. Do I have a drink on me? I do not. That sucks. Ah well. Let's see. We're going to expend some energy to trigger Black Locust on the Cleric. The Skeleton is going to continue harassing the Warrior. But first, we need to get the challenge off so he doesn't target anybody else. Sorcerer is going to focus, and the Shadow is going to follow up with Shadow Frost on the Cleric. So that way we can deal high octane damage. Alright, challenge is back on, nice. Focus triggers, gets us some more energy to work with. And we go from there. Alright. To that end, we defend here, I think. The Witch is going to follow up with... Let's go with Nightshade on the Warrior, because the Cleric's going to go down really quickly, I feel. So we're just going to go for a Scorch on the Cleric. The Shadow is going to focus to get some energy. And the Cleric dies before we even get the chance to, so now we can focus on the Warrior, who's going to be a more heavily focused individual. But yeah, we just burn him down to the ground. Pretty self-explanatory if you know what you're doing. Okay, how's everybody's HP doing? It's doing pretty okay. The healing over time has really helped. So I think we can get away with a Shadow Backlash, or Shadow Attack, or whatever that ability is. We're going to Soul Steal as well, so we get some energy back and attack. Skeleton can't do anything, given it's easy sleep. But the Shadow can hit off with a Shadow Blaze. And we'll go from there. That should deal significant sum of damage, I would assume. Shadow Blade should be the finisher, but we'll see. It is, and it gets to KO. Nice. Alright, level 32. We get Tier 3 Ruinous Blaze, Tier 4 Shield Stance, we get Tier 7 Healing, Tier 3 Ward of Spring, and Tier 7 Phantom Grasp. We get Tier 4 Darkness and Tier 7 Shadow Inferno, and the puppet levels up. Okay, we save here. And we load up. I think we should be fine if we keep going for like, I don't know, 30 more minutes, let's say. 30 more minutes should be fine. Okay, absolutely nothing so far. That's fine. Okay, we get a Elven Plate of the Owl. I think that's better armor for us. Let's go to equipment and see. Let's see. We got a 16 agility, 10 crit, 20 hit chance, versus something that gives us straight magical armor. Oh, we can't even wear it, actually. Hold on. Can the witch wear it? No, we can't. Okay, so the armor is actually useless to us. Never mind. Well, I'm still gonna keep it for sale value purposes, but still, we can't use it, so that sucks. Okay. 80 gems, nice. We save. That's still a save load, because there was a chest worth value. Okay, we found 3 gems. Found studded leather armor of the owl. Alright, that's it. Okay, we save and reload. But yeah, I'm going to probably keep at this for like 30 minutes, so if you guys want to skip this sort of, grind, I would suggest then and there to do it. But yeah, we're probably going to go for as long as we can. Or at least as long as my sanity can hold out. I might even just go to floor 6 this stream, just to see what we got. Wait. Hold on, let's load. I got confused. Yeah, we need to go back. 83 gems, we save. Then load. Okay, nothing there, that's fine. We can reload again. Okay, we got a chest. Heavy Great Sword of Obliteration, lovely. Still an item, though. Okay. Alright, so I think I'm going to take a small... Well, after this, I'm going to take a small 5-minute break. But yeah, when I return, we will be back to the grind for at least a bit longer. And we should be good to go. Alright, we're going to save here. And I am going to be right back shortly, so yeah. See you guys in 5 minutes, and when I return, we will keep going. See you in a bit. Alright, I am back. Apologies for the delay. Alright, where were we? Right, we were grinding, weren't we? Okay, I think we saved already, but just to make sure I am going to do it again. So yeah, there we go. Let's get back into the load system. Got an antique sword, which is money. Well, money's money still. We save here, and we load, and then we repeat the cycle. Okay, we get an intermediate wind rune, not bad. We get reinforced elven plates, and then we reload. Considering how the gear has been mediocre, I might be able to get through Cell Block 6 today as well. We'll see. Steel chainmail protection, it's subpar. Okay, we save here. Okay. Okay, nothing there. Okay, absolutely nothing, so we load. Okay. Nope. Nothing. Again, nothing. That's fine. We can just simply reload. Okay, game, come on. There we go. 72 gems, we save here. And then we load. Alright, I might actually go for like 6 more minutes, but that's about it. Or at least that's how much patience I've gotten right now. I don't exactly want to be doing this whole stream, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep going like this for at least until the 45-minute mark. And then we'll stop and go and see what floor 6 has to offer. Hopefully something better than us grinding, of course, but yeah. We should be able to manage all the same. I mean, we've managed on the floor that we did quite easily, so us just doing this just makes us a little bit stronger. All the same, it is a grind worth doing because it is money, experience. It's just really good. And a little bit required on our part, I think. For a number of reasons. Okay, nothing there. There we go. Obsidian plate of the owl. Nope. But we save and load because that is still money in the bank that we can use to upgrade everybody. Okay, nope. Okay, nope. There we go. Intermediate midnight rune. Okay, we save and load up. 4 more minutes and we should be good. We get 99 gems there. Nothing there. But we do get another chest with 99 gems. Cool. Save and load. Okay, nothing. Nothing. That's why we load. Okay, that's just... Ooh, an Elven Staff. 14 magic, 24 to 61. Okay, so that's a higher grade staff than what we could have gotten. So me actually doing this is slightly rewarding. Okay, well, let's load, and we will equip these new staff on our wizard, because each bit of magic is important. Okay, no, we load. Okay, once again. Nope. That's fine. There we go. Intermediate tough rune, that's still an item that we can use. Okay, we are going to equip the staff on the sorcerer, I believe. 24 to 61, that's pretty good. It is but a slight upgrade. Alright, 2 more minutes and then we'll dip. Okay, we get ourselves 24 gems. An obsidian plate of protection, nice. More money to the money pile. And nothing there. Nothing there. Something here. 50 gems. Yeah, it's money. It is money. Okay, we get 32 gems for our troubles. Absolutely jacked there, but that's fine. We save, and then we load. And we'll see how we fare. Nope. Okay, that's a load. Alright. Nope. Okay, 61 gems. Nice, another chest. Alright, Evelyn played the bear. This should be 1 or 2 of our final loads, and then we will be heading out. Or at least I want to have this be the last one. But we'll see. Nope. Okay, that's another load, but this should be our last haul before we dip. Okay, yep, no, this is the last haul. 35 gems and jack. Okay. Gonna use this chance to get as many fights as we can before we head out. Looking like a very difficult fight, but that is why we have Nightshade. Gonna put the defender to sleep. Gonna use challenge. The sorcerer is gonna hit Ice Storm. We'll get the shadow to inflict here. No, let's manifest here. Yeah. Okay, the sleep triggers, nice. Challenge triggers, that's gonna get them focusing on the skeleton. And the rest go into drones. As we get the strategy going. Alright. We are going to power strike the cleric. The witch is going to poison the defender. The sorcerer is going to soul steal from the cleric. And the shadow is going to shadow storm? No, let's go shadow inferno. Tier 7. Alright, power strike tier 7, there we go. Black Locust poisons the defender. Soul Steal triggers on the cleric. And we should be able to kill the cleric, but I'm not 100% certain. Yep, the cleric goes down. That just leaves the man-at-arms and the defender. We're just going to attack the man-at-arms. The witch is going to Curse of the Fool, the defender. Sorcerer is going to Scorch for fire damage, and the Shadow is going to use Shadow Blaze on the Men-at-Arms. Get rid of the Men-at-Arms sooner rather than later, we should be fine. Alright, Scorch. Does that trigger the DOT? It does not. Shadow Blaze triggers, deals 313, gets rid of the Man-at-Arms. Just leaves that man. Okay, we focus. Skeleton is going to defend. Sorcerer is going to... Honestly, I think we Frostfall here. Just deal as much damage as we can, reduce his agility, make him weaker, and we are effectively going to have a stronger output. But yeah, no, decreasing his agility and defenses is key here. Okay, I think I can get away with the focus as well. That should make things a lot easier. Going to defend again. We are going to Witchfire. The Sorcerer is going to focus. And the Shadow, we can get away with a focus to increase our magic by 1 turn. Or increase our magic again. Which is only going to further increase our magic potential with the Shadow. So yeah. High octane damage output. Okay, 40 additional magic. Yeah, he's not going to have a fun time. Okay, the Witch is going to put him to sleep again, or try to. Skeleton, we are going to use Challenge if that fails. The Sorcerer is going to hit with, I guess, Scorch again? Try and get that trigger off. And the Shadow is going to hit in with the highest damage ability we got. Unfortunately, Shadow Blaze is off on cooldown, so I guess Shadow Blast. No, wait, no. Arcane's something he is strong against. Shadow Frost, then. That'll have to do. Okay, there goes the chill. That's fine. Nightshade puts him to sleep, though. And yeah, there we go. Okay, Scorch applies, nice. Shadow Frost hits with the high octane arcane for 139, not bad. Okay, we are going to use the refresh rune. That'll have to do. The Witch comes in with... Okay, so we got Poison, we got Witchfire, we got Black Locust. Well, no, we got Black Locust, Witchfire, we got Scorch. We are lacking the Frost ability, so we just need to Curse the Fool for now. The Sorcerer is going to activate Ice Storm, even though it can only target 1 enemy. Well, multiple. While it's better for multiple enemies, it's still going to apply the proc, which is important. And I guess we can Shadow Blaze here. Alright, there we go.
4 damage.
Okay, Arcane Weakness, Magic down 4, Ice Storm triggers. He's not about to have a fun time. And there he goes. Solid. Get some experience for that mess, and we can save and keep going. I'm not interested in your wares, my friend. Okay, we can't trigger that, but we can return. There we go. Close enough. We managed to get within the 10-minute mark of 50 minutes, so there we go. All the same, we are going to sell some stuff to him. Okay, we don't need the Dark Steel Staff anymore. Nor do we need anything of this lot of items. So we're just going to sell all that. We're going to sell all the defensive stuff. Okay. Spike leather armor. Tempting, but not really needed. We'll sell that all the same, because more money the better. Okay, head. Sell all the body parts, as well as the arms, because we don't need those. Okay. And sell all these. Okay, there we go. Now, treasure. Cool. Shouldn't be too hard to do that. There we go. Scrolls we keep, because we use those. Don't need to buy anything from the shop, but we will be going to the skill trainer here. Let us increase our magic. That's the core principle of it, after all. Okay, level 7. Alright, level 8. Level 9. And level 10 is 12,000 gems, but still, it is a well-invested cost, because that's just going to help us out. Alright, cell block 6, here we go. Let's check it out. So, ghosts and spirits are the gimmick for this dungeon, apparently, so... yeah, let's prepare for the worst. Probably going to be facing the dead, which we have faced before, so it's not that big a deal, but yeah. Okay.
You find a book called Sorcerer's Reign. The picture on the cover is a compelling woman, pale and platinum blonde, with black streaks in her hair. The description on the back reads, a retelling of the dark period of the sorceress's conquest. This novel delves into Aliel's motivations and methods, unraveling a compelling narrative from her vantage. Read the 30-week top seller yourself.
Interesting. Ah, hello. We save here, and we begin. We begin our journey through the the dangers of this fight. Oh, hello. That's a lot of you, huh? Okay, we're gonna challenge to start off with. The witch is going to, I guess, focus. Okay, the sorcerer is gonna have some trouble here, but that's fine. We are going to... I guess darkness, yeah. Let's do darkness, because that targets all enemies. The darkness is going to help us, so that way we aren't as being damaged as much. And we can have the skeleton be focused, which is more important here right now. Nope, that is a lot of defense. Oh god, okay. The blindness is going to help us, at least in this situation. And I guess we just go ham. Oh god. Oh boy, that's not fun. Okay, the skeleton is going to want to use shield stance here, just to minimize the potential of damage. We are going to use Ice Storm to freeze all the enemies and weaken them. The witch is going to use Ward of Spring, so that way we get some regen. And the shadow is going to manifest, so that way we can start dealing AoEs. With the shadow, that is. Shadow Storm's really gonna wail into them, though, as it deals a ton of damage over time. Gonna make them regret ever trying to face us. Alright. Alright, they're trying their best, but unfortunately the skeleton's just being very evasive, very defensive. Yep, that is a lot of misses. Okay, we are going to trigger... counter stance isn't that really good. Well, I mean, I guess it is. It is 2 energy after all. We'll use it. Alright, the witch is going to use... Let's see, what do we got here? We've got a level 23 cleric. We're going to want to focus on the cleric, I think, and put him to sleep. Alright, the sorcerer is going to introduce focus. That's going to get us more energy. The shadow is going to use shadow blaze. No, shadow inferno, specifically. So that way we target all enemies. And then we can go from there. Nightshade triggers, and we put the cleric to sleep, which is the important part. Alright, we have enough magical energy to go and use some serious damage output here. Nope, some people are dying. That's good. Alright, counterattack triggers. Alright. Man, that's a lot of damage. Okay, Skeleton is going to use the refresh rune here. The witch is going to use... Wait, hold on. The block is removed from the skeleton, so we're going to use bait here on the skeleton to make him become a target. We are then going to follow up with Firestorm, which is going to target all enemies. And the Shadow lacks any energy to get the second AoE, so we're going to just hit Focus. We'll go from there. Alright, bait triggers. Firestorm triggers. Deal damage to everybody within the radius. We'll go from there. Yeah, could be worse. Okay, Divine Power is trying to be triggered, okay. Okay, the skeleton, we are going to use the... We'll hold off on challenge for now. We're just going to defend. The witch is going to focus to get energy back. The sorcerer is probably going to soul steal. We're going to focus on the level 10 cleric in the back. The shadow can then follow up with a shadow storm of arcane damage. And just whittle everybody down. Naturally. Okay, there goes the cleric. That just leaves the warriors, the clerics, and then the should be good. But these guys should be easy to deal with. Oh, defender level 2. Nice, nice. Still not going to be enough to deal with our allies. All right. I guess shield stance would be good. Alright, the witch is going to use... I guess I could use Nightshade just to put some people to sleep. Yeah, let's start spamming Nightshade. We're going to target the level 18 Warrior A. We are then going to do... Can't use Ice Storm or Firestorm, so... I guess we will use Scorch on the level 23 Cleric to apply some more DOT. We will then do a Shadow Blizzard to target everybody. More damage the better after all. Alright, Nightshade triggers. There we go. Scorch comes into play. Let's see if we get the Burn proc, which we don't. That's fine. We'll live. Alright. Quite the devastating amount of people, that's for sure. Okay, we'll defend. The Sorcerer is going to use Focus here to get some more energy back. The Witch is going to use... we don't need any healing, but we should definitely get our recovery on defense. So we're going to use the Restored Defense. The Shadow is then going to follow with Manifest, and naturally just build up the cycle once more, which is kind of important. Okay, Restore Defenses is going to be clutch, cool. Alright, there we go. Okay, so Skeleton's doing quite well. Honestly, I think just going defense is pretty good. The Witch can then put, oh no, she needs more energy, so we're just going to focus. The Sorcerer is going to Ice Storm again, just to get everybody back into the throes of pain. And the Shadow is going to use Shadow Inferno once again, and just get damage just cycling. The more damage, the better. Alright, Ice Storm triggers. That should get a few of them down. Nope, it does not, but it will still proc the DOT, which will deal damage. Okay, that's one. And that just leaves the 2 warriors and a cleric in the middle. Okay. Let's use a refresh room, get our defenses back. Oh god, our defenses for the skeleton's really bad. I kind of wish I had like a armor healing ability. I don't know. Something that helps there. We are going to attempt to scorch the cleric here. And the Shadow is going to focus, get some more energy back, naturally. Yeah, I think the cleric's awake now. As hard as it may be to see. Yeah, it really is hard to see what the cleric's doing. Yeah, no, the cleric's healing. Oh god. Okay, we want to shield bash the cleric to prevent him from healing. The Witch is going to use Black Locust on the cleric just to whittle him down further. The Sorcerer is going to Soul Steal the cleric. And the Shadow is going to go literally Shadow Lizard. Just deal damage over time, damage over time, damage over time. The more the better. Alright, knockdown applies. Poison triggers. There we go. Soul Steal steals some extra damage. And Shadow Blizzard to everybody just to get the damage going across. Alright. Okay, I think we can go with Curse of the Fool here. The Skeleton is going to go for a... Alright, the Skeleton doesn't have any defenses, so we're just going to throw down the Challenge. The Sorcerer is going to throw down a... I think we go Ruinous Blaze here. And the Shadow will follow up with Focus. There we go, that's one. Cool. Now we just focus on the others that are still around. Because they can't heal, they can only increase their defenses, which is the best thing we can handle with these guys. Okay, 138, not bad. Alright. They're trying their damnedest to whittle us down, but to no avail. Put Warrior 1 to sleep. We are going to hamstring? No, let's shield stance. Sorcerer is going to focus to get some energy back. The Shadow is going to Shadow Blaze Warrior B. So that way we whittle them down as much as possible. Alright. Off we go. Violence ahead. Not bad, 196, that's pretty good. Okay, the skeleton is going to defend. The witch is going to focus. Sorcerer, we will have you use Abyssal Frost. The Shadow is going to hit you with a Shadow Blast, though. There we go. Because he is weak to Arcane right now, so might as well take advantage of that. Okay, Agility, Frostbite, damage, Shadow Blast hits. He's currently weak, 89, that's not bad. Defend. The Witch will then throw down a Witchfire. The Sorcerer will not be able to cast a dang thing, so defend. And the Shadow will manifest. But none of that happens because he's dead. Alright. 4,000 experience, some items, and a gems. Nice. Pretty viable. Okay, let's save here. Alright, what's in here? Okay. Nothing around here. 54 gems. A healing potion and 58 gems. Not bad. Okay, this room seems sus. So we're just going to quickly save here. So I have a weird feeling we're going to run into some enemies. You notice the way the ring is fitted into the wall seems a bit off. Oh, we get an elven cape, nice. You hear the sound of stone grinding against stone. Intriguing. Oh, hello. A fight. Hold on. Before we go and engage... Ah, hello. Let's see what I found. Maybe it's back here? Yep, it is. It is indeed back here. Hello. And we got other secrets. Cool. We shall save on file 5. And move on. What do we get? We get a fire jewel. And Elven Plate of the Bull. Okay, maybe... Alright, hold on. I've not seen this treasure. Or this... Oh, it's a quest item. Okay, so it's a quest item. Apparently we got a lot of, Yeah, there's a lot of information to go off of, given the quest items that we've been collecting. Interesting. I'm gonna keep what I got currently. I'm quite satisfied with that, gem, after all, so...
We're gathering everything needed to unlock the true potential of our character.
Alright, let's do this. That's another fight. Okay. Okay, we're gonna start with the skeleton, naturally with the challenge. The sorcerer comes in with a focus, which shall be used to nightshade the next person. We're gonna nightshade the cleric, I think. Okay. We shall hit everybody with darkness, so that way they are more susceptible to avoiding attacks. And we go from there. Alright. Okay, sleep. Nice. Seems seems like it's going to be a floor dedicated to just mass amounts of enemies, which is great for AoE, but not so good for the long term. Okay, we're going to Ward of Spring, so that way we at least get some recovery going. We shall do not a restoration rune, but a shield stance. The Sorcerer is going to do an Ice Storm, get everybody whole. And the Shadow is going to manifest for energy. Naturally. Alright. We should probably deal with the Cleric first, because the Cleric's gonna be the most troublesome. Then we can focus on the Warriors next, I predict, but we'll see. Okay, so... yeah, we're gonna get the Skeleton to defend now. The Witch is going to... let's go Black Locust on the Cleric. The Sorcerer is going to Scorch the Cleric. And while there is level 18 Warriors, they're not that big a concern, in my eyes. I'd rather Shadow Inferno all enemies in this case, and then we'll just go from there. But status ailments are more important right now. Because if we can get multiple status ailments on somebody, it just means their end, really. But I digress. Every little bit matters. Alright, the Skeleton is going to use Defender here, I think. Increase the defense. The Witch is going to use a Nightshade, and we're going to start targeting the level 18 Warriors now. Sorcerer is going to focus. Alright, Shadow is going to go with the focus again, get some more energy for AoEs. That is just how it goes. We should be good. Alright, there we go. That's another down. That means less attacked, which is important. Action economy. Okay, we should be able to challenge here, yep. So we're going to challenge here. Okay, the Witch is going to focus. Sorcerer is going to... let's do a Firestorm because it's an AoE. The Shadow is going to Shadow Storm, which is Arcane. And we're just going to deal damage over time to everybody. Might as well, right? Alright, that's damage across the board. The Shadow Storm hits. That's going to deal even more damage across the board. There we go. That gets rid of the Men at Arms. And leaves 3 of them to their own devices. Alright, so we are going to start focusing down... okay, so we're going to start using Witchfire on the Cleric now. The Skeleton is already in a defensive mode, so we're just going to use the Refresh Rune to recover what he can. The Sorcerer is going to use Soul Steal on the Cleric. And the Shadow is going to Manifest to get some more energy. There we go. The more damage, the better. Not a fan that it's taking a while to take out enemies, but, I mean, not all RPGs are meant to be fast. It's not like you can see their HP either. Would be satisfying to see, though. Ah well. We're gonna Shield Bash the Cleric so it can stop healing itself. The Witch is going to use Nightshade on the Cleric. The Sorcerer is going to use Ice Storm to trigger everybody's Frost. And the Shadow is going to go Shadow Inferno, because there's still 3 enemies left. Might as well get rid of them all. And there goes him. So now we can focus on everybody else. Alright, that does not put the middle one to sleep, but that's fine. Ice Storm triggers, cool. Shadow Inferno triggers. And now we can just start doing single target damage. Okay, we've got 212. Alright, so we're gonna go with Defensive Strike to restore our defenses. The Witch is going to be using Curse of the Fool here. Alright, the Sorcerer is going to use Focus. The Shadow is going to use Shadow Blaze on Warrior A, and we're just gonna whittle everybody down. Of course, the Skeleton does need Defensive Strike just to restore his defenses a lot, so that's probably the primary reason I'm gonna be using it. But I digress. Alright. Gonna focus. The Skeleton is going to... I think we just have the Skeleton attack Warrior B. The Sorcerer is going to use Scorch. The Shadow is going to focus, and then we'll go from there. At the very least, getting the defenses up is important. So, yeet. Okay. 38 damage. Okay, focus comes in. Nice. Okay, defenses are going to be annoying, but expected. Let's trigger challenge. The Witch comes in next. We're going to use Nightshade here on Warrior B. Sorcerer is going to trigger Black Bolt on Warrior A. Shadow is going to use the Shadow Blast ability on Warrior A and go from there. Alright, there we go. Okay, sleep triggers, Black Bolt comes in. 47 damage, that deals with him. Now the Shadow will target Shadow Blast on the guy in the middle. And this should be enough. No, it is not, but it's still doing damage. So I'm gonna be fine with it. The Witch comes in with Focus. The Sorcerer comes in, and he's gonna use Soul Steal to get some energy back. Whilst the Shadow here does Shadow... No, let's just do Manifest. Why not? If we're lucky, we'll be able to get even more energy, but we'll see. Alright. Let us use Abyssal Frost here. The Witch is then going to use Witchfire. Shadow is going to hit with a Shadow Blaze. We'll go from there. Shouldn't be too bad. Pop. And this should be... Well, it's not enough to kill, but the damage over time is going to do it for us, I feel. At least at this point, maybe. We'll see. Nope. The fire's enough. There we go. Got a ton of experience, and we get to level 33. We have gained Abyssal Thrust, Tier 3. We have gained Grave Resilience, which increases resistance to physical attacks. Okay. We get Mass Heal, Tier 4. We get Shadow Frost, Tier 7. And Puppet and Ghost level up. Nice. We are now level 33. Cool. Okay, we are going to save here. At... File 7. And off we go. We find an obsidian staff, which is 12 magic, not bad. Find an obsidian mace. Okay. Equipment mize, what is that? So, elven magic is 14, the obsidian staff is 12. 20 to 52. Okay, so let's see, what about the witch then? The obsidian staff deals a little bit more damage, but the moon silver staff is slightly better still. Mainly because of the 5 defense. So we keep that, I guess. Alright, let's continue. Alright, that's floor 1 of... yeah, that's floor 1. No, we don't save here. We'll save when we find a fight. Yes, next level. Alright.
As you walk down the hall, you hear an echoing voice. Well, it looks like I've got myself a rival summoner. This should make things interesting around here, at least for a little while.
Okay. That is probably the necromancer talking, I would assume. I'm gonna hedge my bets that there's something to do with these, little bits on the wall here. Something's gonna happen with them. So that's why I'm, incessantly clicking them. But, that's fine. Oh, hello. Okay, we challenge. The witch is going to... Can't we put undead to sleep? I guess we'll see. The zombie is probably going to be a slow attacker. The ghoul, not so. The ghoul is probably going to have paralysis-based focus, so better to take him out more than anything. Okay, let's manifest here. And I guess we'll see how we fare against ghouls and undead. Okay, we've managed to put the ghoul to sleep. Good. That's gonna make our life a little easier. Can't say the same for everybody else, but we'll see. But it seems like we got a similar thing to the illusionist, where this man summons creatures, but in this case, it's undead. Okay, we're gonna defend with skeleton. The witch is going to Ward of Spring for everybody. Alright. Ice Storm is going to deal damage over time. The Shadow is going to Shadow Blaze, and we're just going to target the ghoul while he's asleep. I think that's the best course of action here. Alright, violence. Let's begin. Okay, that's not a lot of damage, but that's fine. Okay, we are going to poison the ghoul. The skeleton is going to... Yeah, we're gonna have the skeleton... I think we refresh rune here. That's my thought anyways. The sorcerer is going to soul steal for energy. Right, the shadow is gonna hit with a shadow blast next. And we'll go from there. Alright, poison triggers, nice. Refresh rune triggers. Soul Steal, get some damage, not bad. Shadow Blast comes in. 214, not bad. Okay, we can't exactly defend ourselves, but we're going to use a shield stance. Okay, we are going to focus. Probably going to have the witch cast it for defense, but we'll see. We will scorch the ghoul all the same, and the shadow is going to manifest. There we go. Might as well, right? Alright. Okay, the skeleton can't really do much right now, but that is fine. Let's use Grave Resilience here. Why not? Alright, the witch comes in, and she is going to use Nightshade on the zombie. Okay, the sorcerer comes in with Focus. And the shadow comes in with... I guess Shadow Frost? Nope, never mind. The ghoul's now dead. That's fine. That works for me. Alright, Nightshade puts him to sleep. Cool. And now we begin. Alright, cool. From there, we then use Witchfire to increase the damage outputs. The skeleton is going to use a refresh rune to reset some defense. The sorcerer is going to come in with Abyssal Frost. Well, no, not Abyssal Frost. We need to get in with Scorch to try and get a DOT. And the shadow is going to go in with Focus to get some energy back. Because now we need to start triggering the damage over time. Multiple, if we can. Because that's only going to increase the damage output, right? So, the more the better. Okay, skeleton. Kind of wish I had something to increase your energy, but I guess not. Okay, the witch, we need you to use bait on the skeleton. Sorcerer, we are going to... Oh, we don't have any energy buffer, don't we? Great, okay. Let's just Black Bolt you. For now. And the Shadow, we're just gonna Shadow Blaze. I think that's the best option here. Because fire is something zombies are weak against, apparently. At least I think. Hard to say. Seem pretty weak to me, though. 150 damage, though, jeez. Okay, focus. Okay, defend. I guess Soul Steal here to get some more energy back. And the Shadow Manifest. But we kill it before then, so yeah. Cool. Okay, we're gonna save here. Okay. Oh, another fight. Lovely. Okay, we challenge here. Sorcerer is gonna hit with the Scorch. Alright, Witch gets the Nightshade. And the Shadow comes in with... I guess... Shadow Blast? Yeah. Damage over time. More and more, the better we go. Okay. Hopefully it's not one of those dungeons or areas where we just have to fight and fight and fight and hope we get lucky on finding where the enemy is. Hopefully not, because that would be annoying. But I mean, I guess we'll see, won't we? Okay, we're just going to defend here. Sorcerer is going to focus. The Shadow is going to manifest. And yeah, we just need to gather energy as we set up to whittle this guy down. Alright, defend with the skeleton. The witch is going to hit with Witchfire to get some burn off. The Sorcerer is immediately going to use Abyssal Frost here to get the DOT. And the Shadow is gonna Shadow Blaze, naturally. There we go. Witchfire triggers. There we go. Abyssal Frost triggers. Get the damage over time. There we go. Shadow Blaze is a nice, good burn spell. 213, pretty nice. Still, the dude is sleeping. That's good. Gonna defend. The Witch is going to use Black Locust, which is a poison. And the Sorcerer gets the Soul Steal to get some energy back in prep for Scorch, which is the next damage over time. From there, we just hit focus, and then we'll recover our energy, as we usually do. And we'll go from there. .44 magic, not bad. Okay, we are going to be using... I mean, I guess we keep defending for now. I'll probably use challenge soon, but not right now. So we're gonna start with Scorch here. Alright, the Witch comes in next. We are going to be using... Honestly, I'm not sure what to use. Hold on. I guess Phantom Grasp, yeah, it's light ice damage, but still, it's damage. We are then gonna go with Shadow Blast, I guess. There we go. But no, he's dead already, so there we go. Okay, we're gonna save here. And that's another fight. Oh, lovely. Okay, that's gonna be annoying if this is gonna be a constant theme with this area. Fight after fight after fight of annoyance. Oh well. Okay, we are going to go Shadow... maybe not Shadow Inferno. Let's just focus on one enemy at a time. I think that's just the goal of everything. Just deal damage over time to one specific person. Then you can worry about the rest. But the damage over time is obviously going to be something that's focused on both of them, so... yeah. We'll focus on A first, and then we'll move on to B, naturally, so... one at a time. Okay, we're gonna hit the defend. Okay, the Witch is then going to use Black Locust. No. We need to hold off on Black Locust. That way we can get focus off. We're then going to use Scorch on Zombie A. The Shadow is then going to follow up with Shadow Frost for the damage, and we go from there. That's what we needed. Okay, do we get the Scorch? We do get the Scorch, perfect. Shadow Frost triggers, which gets 137, not bad. It's damage. Okay, we hit with Witchfire. Then the Skeleton will go with Defend, I guess. The Sorcerer shall use Soul Steal to get some energy back. And we will Manifest with the Shadow. Alright, another damage over time. That's 3 already. Alright, so that just leaves one more. And then we're good. Okay, we are going to use a defensive strike on B. The Witch is going to start using Nightshade on Zombie B. The Sorcerer next is going to use Focus. And then we're just going to hit Shadow Blaze on Zombie A and just keep the cycle running. Alright. Focus triggers. Fire damage comes in, probably. Yep. And bada bing bada boom. 56. He's now dead. Good. Now we can focus on the shadow here. We are going to... We actually don't need to. We're going to use refresh runes as much as we can. The witch is going to start applying poison. The sorcerer is going to start applying scorch here. And the shadow, going to focus. As we proceed to do damage over time after damage over time against this man. There we go. Scorch is unfortunately not enough, but that's fine. It happens. Okay, we are going to simply defend. The witch, we will use... I guess we focus here, don't we? Yes, we'll use focus, that way we can get another casting of Witchfire. The Sorcerer cannot use Scorch, so I guess we... Let's just use Black Bolt, why not? It's a cheap spell. The Shadow is going to use Shadow... Frost, why not? There we go. More damage. Never hurt anybody. Pop. 82 damage, not bad. Shadow Frost. That's 47. Still not enough to take him out, but still, it's slowly whittling him down. Okay, let's use Refresh Rune once again. Alright, the Sorcerer is now going to use... I guess another Black Bolt, why not? Okay, the Witch is going to use Witchfire here. The Shadow is then going to use Manifest. Just deal as much damage as we can. Okay, that's not enough. That's why we have Witchfire coming in. The Witchfire should deal damage over time on top of the poison. So we're just going to... let's actually use Challenge now, just in case he wakes up. From there, we will Curse of the Fool him. Sorcerer comes in with Scorch again. And the Shadow, if we get to that point, is going to use Shadow Blaze. I assume he's dead though, yeah. Okay. Not a lot of goods, but that's fine. We're getting experience, which is a nice thing at least. I really do hope we don't have to deal with his antics though. Oh god. You know what? Maybe this is like an infinite fight until you find the boss. Oh god, if that's the case, I'm just going to give up here. I really hope it's not what I think it is. Yeah, it is. Oh god. Wait, hold on. Let's actually confirm that. Alright, let's confirm. Because this might just be it. So if I go immediately right, then I should be in with a fight. Which I'm not. Okay. I had a feeling this is going to be a bad thing, okay. Okay. This is not going to be a fun floor. Not at all. Oh boy. Okay, well, all the same, I guess we just have to face the thunder and just hope we can actually handle this. Oh boy. Oh well, I guess this is just gonna be our life for a bit. Until we find this guy. But then again, that is prime, like, that is prime necromancer levels of, antics. You just have to face hordes and hordes of undead that are never ending. It's gonna be annoying, though, I must admit. But I mean, I guess that's just how we're gonna have to face it. Well, until their enemies stop coming flooding in, but, I mean, I highly doubt that. He's just gonna keep sending until, he's either dead or something worse happens. Well, whatever, it's experience, I suppose. Shield stance. Alright, the witch goes in for... Let's do Witchfire on Ghoul A. Sorcerer is gonna Soul Steal Ghoul A. Shadow is going to Shadow Storm. There we go. More damage. Kinda wish there was a way to easily deal with the the undead, but can't really. Oh well. We do what we can. Well, at least we're not focusing on their physical defense. I think that would be the biggest problem that we would have to deal with. Oh well. I guess refresh room? Okay, we'll do a Scorch on Ghoul A. The Shadow will follow up with Focus, and we'll go from there, I guess. Yeah, not so fun. Alright. Okay, yeah, the skeleton doesn't have his ability currently, so we're just gonna have to improvise. We're gonna defend. The witch is going to instead give him bait. The sorcerer is gonna come in with focus to get some energy back. And we'll get the shadow to inflict Shadow Inferno here for all enemies to deal with. Yep, it's just these two now. Honestly, an easy way would just be to apply a damage over time against each of them, so yeah, we're probably going to do that. I'll probably strike one of them with poison and the other with fire, and then we'll go from there. Okay, the skeleton has nothing, so we're just going to defend. The witch, we are going to apply Black Locust to Ghoul C. The sorcerer is going to use Scorch on Ghoul B. The Shadow will manifest to get some energy back. Oh, damage over time of the cold variety has ended. But that is why we got the damage over times coming in and trying to get apply. And we go from there. Okay, Skeleton can't really do much. Well, he can, but I'm putting him on defense duty. Okay. We will apply Witchfire to Ghoul B. The Sorcerer is going to use Ice Storm to get the damage over time going, and the Shadow Storm is going to trigger soon after with the Shadow. Naturally. There we go. Ice Storm for extra damage. There we are. Nice. Yeah, they're not going to have a fun time. We are going to use this chance to focus. The Skeleton is going to defend. Sorcerer, we want to Soul Steal. And the Shadow... Honestly, Shadow Blizzard. It's damage, but yeah. I should probably went with a single target, my bad. Ah well. It's still enough to take him out though. There we go. Okay, we save here. I just hope classifies him as a... Yeah, the enemy spawn is random here, so... Yeah, oh boy, another fight. You can tell my motivation between these fights is just draining. Yeah, it's not fun fighting the same thing time and time again. That's why necromancers can be so exciting, but also the most annoying. Especially if you're on receiving ends. Yeah, no, understanding your enemy, or understanding what you like the most makes you the enemy of yourself as well. Well. It was bound to happen. I am a necromancer by heart, or at least in this regard, a minion summoner. But I digress. Alright, Shadow Inferno, nice. Okay, that's pain. Shadow should be fine though, if we just give him a quick heal. Alright, Skeleton. Use shield stance, I guess. The Sorcerer is going to throw down a... Let's go with a focus for now. Let's go with a darkness here for all enemies. I think we can get away with that. Make them less accurate. It would save us some time and trouble. There we go. Darkness triggers. Everybody is blind now. Makes it infinitely harder to hit the skeleton naturally. Okay. Going to hit the defend option. Sorcerer is going to hit the... I would hit Frostfall, but I guess we can't. So the best I can do is Scorch. The Witch is going to start throwing out Black Locust Poison on B. Shadow is going to manifest, and we'll go from there. Try to get the damage over time, basically. The more, the better. Alright, fire, poison. Now we just need to get the damage over time for frost, and then we should be good. Okay, so the skeleton doesn't have any defense, so we're just going to defend here. The witch is going to apply a bait for the skeleton. Sorcerer is going to use Ice Storm here, trigger everybody. Okay, and then we can go with a Shadow Inferno with the Shadow. Alright, the bait triggers. Ice Storm triggers. That's going to trigger damage over time for everybody. Nice. Some fire in there, just for added benefit. The dude in the middle really suffered from that, it seems. Okay. I'm going to use a refresh rune here just to get some defense back. We'll go from there. Soul Steal A. The witch is going to use focus here. Shadow, we're going to focus as well. There we go. Just get everybody reset for the next attack. Okay, focus comes in. I think at the very least I'd like to deal with this necromancer first. Then we can end off stream probably. At least that's the plan. At least the evades are coming in clutch, so that's good. Alright, we'll do a Witch Fire on Ghoul C, so we're getting procs everywhere equally. Okay, we're gonna go Defend duty. Okay, we are going to hit the Scorch on B. Okay, there we go. We are going to hit off Shadow Storm, I guess? Yeah, let's go with that. Apologies, I'm getting a bit tired. Once I'm finished with the, like I said, once I'm finished with the necromancer, I'm probably gonna wrap it up here. Okay, skeleton, we are going to... I think we can keep the defense going. The sorcerer is next. We go focus. The witch, we can get away with the black locust on ghoul A, I'm assuming. Shadow is going to focus. Alright, that's one. Alright, so the poison can go on somebody else, I'm assuming. Yep, poison's gonna go on one of the two. It goes on the one in the middle. Focus hits, there we go. And we'll go from there. Alright, skeleton, we need you to use a defensive strike on ghoul B. The witch, we want you to focus here. The sorcerer is going to use Abyssal Frost on ghoul C for damage over time, and the shadow is just literally going to use Shadow Blaze and just start pelting these guys down. Or I guess in this case, target C here. There we go. Pop. And Abyssal Frost comes in for damage. Kaboom. Nice. And Shadow Blaze probably going to go in for the kill. Yep, there we go. Nice. Okay, we save here. You hear the sound of stone grinding against stone. Hello. Okay. A glowing ball of light hovers before you.
I may look like a lost spirit, but don't be fooled. I'm actually
Before he can say anything more, the spirit is sucked into the black stone. Well, that's something. I guess I'll save here. We found Corail, a Blight Staff again, and gems. The Blight Staff we've already gotten, so honestly we could get something way better, I suspect. Alright, another Corail, leather armor of the owl, and a linen shirt. We can do way better than that. So we're gonna reload this again. And I guess we'll see. Antique sword, small wooden statue. No. Not satisfying enough. Come on, you guys can do better than that. Alexandrite. Obsidian. They're really not doing anything to impress upon the fact that this is a special room. Obsidian maze. No. Not enough. Come on, game. You can do better than that. Alright. Alloy chainmail of the bull. Obsidian, you know what? That'll have to do. I'm fine with that. Okay. I think we've just reached the point where enemies are no longer going to... Oh, never mind. I stand corrected. Okay, I thought enemies were going to be stopping, but I guess not. I guess it was just taking a while for anything to trigger. Okay, we're going to first put one of them to sleep. We're going to put the ghoul to sleep, I guess. And the shadow is literally just going to focus on... Let's just focus on one at a time, honestly, at this point. We'll do the damage over times on everybody else, but one enemy at a time is just going to be fine. Okay, there we go. Let's get back to it, I guess. Alright. Shadow's taking some damage, that's fine. Skeleton, we're gonna go with the... No, not the defensive strike. Let's go with the refresher rune. The witch is going to use witch fire on the ghoul here. Sorcerer is going to hit both of them with ice storm. The shadow is going to manifest energy to get ready to cast another damaging spell on a single target. And yeah, we just wail on everybody at that point. Violence. Okay. Okay. Let us use Shield Bash on the zombie, I guess. The witch is going to put this man to sleep. Alright, the sorcerer is going to use Soul Steal on the ghoul. The shadow is going to hit with Shadow Blast? No, Shadow Frost. And we'll go from there. Alright, both of them are now asleep. Now we can focus on them without being damaged in any slightest. As we whittle them down, one spell at a time. Okay, we're just going to defend with the skeleton. The witch is going to use... Let's use Black Locust on the zombie, so that way he has damage over time. We are going to use... Let's use Scorch on the zombie as well. There we go. The shadow is going to focus to get some energy back, and we'll go from there. Nice. Does not proc the Scorch, unfortunately, but that's fine. We will live. Okay, the skeleton. Nope, we just go defend. Okay, the witch is going to use... Okay, we're going to use Focus so the witch gets some more mana. We are then going to focus with the sorcerer. And then we're going to use Shadow Blaze again on the ghoul. But he's already going down, so now we can just focus on the zombie, which is equally easy to deal with. And we'll go from there. Yeah, I'll worry about the treasure later, or the treasures later, I should say. But I think we already got the secret anyway, so it's fine. We just need to find that wizard. Otherwise, he's just going to be a pain in our butts by summoning zombie after zombie after zombie, which is a pain. Okay, he's still asleep, so we're fine. The sorcerer is going to Scorch here. The shadow is going to actually Shadow Backlash, I think. Hopefully that's going to help us in the long term, so go from there. Okay, and that's a kill. Nice. I can work with that. Okay, Sorcerer is reached level 34. We get Tier 3 Circle of Power, Tier 3 Firestorm. We get a Tier 4 Defender as we level up. We get Tier 4 Restore Defense, Tier 4 Curse the Weak. tier 2 Shadow Shield and a tier 7 Shadow Blizzard. And Puppet reaches level 24, or 34 rather, so yeah. We're at least getting a lot of strength at least, so that's good. Okay, this door might lead to something. Okay, we found Leather Armor the Owl, some gems, and a pearl. I mean, that's loot. Let's go through here. Okay, we save here. A silver kerfuffle, linen shirts, gems, a warrior bracelet, brass belt buckle, black pearl, leather boots, a broom. I mean, it's loot. It's loot. Okay, let's get ready. Nothing around here. Okay, so I've went the completely wrong way here. Oh wait, Okay. Okay, so no enemies so far. I think that's a good thing. Okay. No. Oh, no. Well, I was probably hoping for something and I never got it. Alright, whatever. Well, either way, we're gonna have to find this guy, so it's gonna be a challenge in general, just to find this situation resolved. Either way, we're gonna try our best to deal damage over time and just whittle them down to high hell. Okay, well, we're gonna start with Zombie A. Put that guy to sleep. There we go. Focus him down, I guess, and we'll go from there. I don't know. We'll keep going as far as we can until we get off this floor, at least. If I don't either kill the necromancer here, or something else, I don't know. We'll figure it out. Okay, we are going to refresh room here. Okay, the witch is going to Black Locust. The sorcerer is going to Soul Steal A. The shadow is going to manifest, and we'll go from there. More damage over time is necessary. The more the better. Yeah, what I predict is going on is most of these guys are just going to keep attacking until they whittle themselves down to nothing, I assume. But you never know. Okay, A is already afflicted, so we want B. We are going to defend with the skeleton. The sorcerer is going to Scorch A. And the shadow is going to Shadow Blast A. Because we need to do single focus damage to everybody. The more the merrier. In fact, this might be a gimmick that we employ in the boss fight, I think. Because the necromancer is the boss, supposedly. So yeah. Okay, the witch, we need to focus. The sorcerer is going to focus. The shadow is going to do the same. And we're just going to get as much energy back as possible for this. The more the merrier. Okay. Okay, well, from here we can just use a... Just to be safe, let's use a challenge. Alright, we are going to use Witchfire here. Target Zombie B. The Sorcerer is going to use... I guess continue to use Scorch until we get the burn. And the Shadow is going to use Shadow Blaze again. Just damage over time, damage over time, damage over time. Repeat, repeat, repeat. That's just how it goes. There we go. Witchfire triggers. Nice. Oh, 1 second. Apologies for that. Life stuff. Let's see. What can we do here? Well, obviously, defending is the best way. From there, we can go and use the Black Locust on the Zombie A. The Sorcerers can then use the Ice Storm ability. And from there, we can use... maybe not Shadow Backlash, but we're definitely going to Manifest to get some energy back. I do highly think it's viable for the Witch to start healing the Shadow, otherwise we're not going to get a chance sooner or later, which is not a good thing. Alright, we Manifest there. And we'll try and get a heal off, I think. Okay, so the Witch, we are going to use a heal on the Shadow here. The Sorcerer, we are going to use Soul Steal on the Zombie, and the Shadow, if we can, is probably going to use Shadow Blast. Because cold damage is a zombie's... I would... It's their highest defense, I would assume, anyways. At least that's my personal opinion on it. But I digress. All the same, we get the win there. Alright, we save in file 9. Okay. Okay, so we got one here. Surely there's a way through. Surely. Okay. There's no way this guy is just hiding away. I don't know. This is just a right mess, to be honest. Okay, well, either way, we're gonna focus. We're gonna focus on energy for now. The only one who doesn't need that is the Shadow, I think. But we'll see. Okay, either way, we're gonna use Shadow Voice here because we can. Gonna get some energy back. We can start putting people to sleep and start to use abilities when we get a chance after this. And we'll go from there. Nice, 204, pretty good. Okay, damage is coming in, but that's fine. The defense should be fine. Alright, the Witch is going to use Nightshade on the Ghoul. Alright, the Sorcerer is going to come in with... not Ice Storm, it seems, but we can get away with Scorch here. So we're going to start Scorch. The Shadow is going to use Shadow Blast, because we still have energy left. We'll go from there. Alright, the Scorch triggers. Gets us 101 damage there. Shadow Blast triggers. Nice, 186. Okay, we defend. The Witch then applies... Let's go with Black Locust. Well, actually, hold on. We don't have Nightshade, but we can use Black Locust on the Zombie. The Sorcerer can now not use Ice Storm still, but we can still use Soul Steal to get some energy back. The Shadow must now use Manifest, and we'll probably use Focus as well, because that is going to restore all of our magic, I believe. In addition to that, it's also going to give us enough turns to actually produce a high enough quality of magic power to deal some serious damage to the enemy. At least that's what I predict is going to happen here. Okay, we can get away with defend. The witch is going to need to use bait here to keep the zombie tacked on. We are now going to use Ice Storm to freeze all the enemies and get some frost damage on. We are now going to focus to get more energy out of the shadow, which is going to allow us to prepare the highest form of damage we can produce, I do believe. Alright, the focus triggers, that's going to get us even more magical power. Nice. And by the time we're done, we should have 10 energy to expend. Okay, we can't use that, but we can defend. The witch is going to use this chance to... well, we're going to use this chance to Nightshade the zombie. The sorcerer is going to use this chance to focus. Ah, no, I should have used something else. Ah, well. We're going to use Shadow Blaze, though, all the same. That's going to deal a ton of damage, given the 2 buffs we got here. And we'll just see how we fare. Okay, Shadow Blaze, it deals 267, not bad. Not bad at all. The Witch is going to use Curse of the Fool to weaken the zombie. The Sorcerer is going to use Scorch to try and get the Spurn proc off. We're then going to use Defend with the Skeleton and finalize with the Shadow using Shadow Blast. For arcane damage, naturally. And it would reduce arcane resistance to boot, so it only adds to the damage the Shadow's going to be dealing, so... yeah. Alright, kaboom, and 46 damage. That's not a lot. I guess we got unlucky. Oh well. We'll go focus. The skeleton is going to defend. We are going to hit with... I guess Ruinous Blaze? Yeah, why not? And the Shadow loses their abilities there, but that's fine. We still use... I guess Shadow Frost, why not? Might as well. It's probably nearly dead anyways. Okay, 193, done. Good. Okay, we're gonna save here. I'm gonna save on file 10 here. And let's see. Oh, come on. You know what? No. I just saved out of... I just got out of this fight. Come on. Okay, stop. Here. Save. We're using save some cat tactics at this point. Yeah, no. I'm done. You can't make me fight. Okay. It's a good thing I did the save scum. Okay, it's gonna yield us a position here.
As you walk down the hall, you hear an echoing voice. You don't think you have escaped me yet. Ah, playtime is far from over.
Yep, to the next level we go. Block 6, level 2 is complete-ish. And what we have to probably face is something much, much worse, but we're not going to go any further than this. I'm going to wrap it up here. So yeah, we've managed to go through Cell Block 5, we've defeated a boss there. We've grinded a little bit before we entered Cell Block 6. We managed to get ourselves some nice stuff. And we actually got the loot table for level 6 grind. So we might actually go back and go grab that. But for now, we're just going to focus on what we got here. And I'm going to wrap it up here. If you want to find out the details on how to find my channels, you can simply go into the description of either Twitch or YouTube. If you guys want to help me out, the best way you can do is either on YouTube, like, subscribe, comment, and hit the bell notification. Or you can go out to my Twitch and you can follow me or just watch my streams, whether it be in the background or just up front. I don't mind either way. As long as you guys are enjoying my stuff, I'm going to keep posting out videos, or at least try to. But yeah, every little bit is appreciated, and the more, people get my name out there, the more things I can, I can keep producing content, and maybe even make this into something more. But I'm not going to hold out hope. I just want to, make people happy and enjoy my stuff, but I digress. I gotta wrap it up here. I hope you guys enjoyed today's stream. I know I did. And I'll see you guys next stream. Take care, everyone, and have a good day.